Good Friday afternoon, everybody. We're just going to jump right in, look at verse 5 a little bit, and then keep running through verse 6. Paul says, I thank God for you all the time, Philippians. Why? On the basis of some aspect of your relationship. We haven't completely determined what that is. Maybe something to do with the joy that we get in relationship or that they have in relationship. And this koinonia, this relationship, comes from the gospel. So Paul's saying that's the basis of thanking them. And then in verse 6, he continues to express other aspects and characteristics of his prayer and his thanks for the Philippians. Another wise statement, most likely, because I believe, or I've come to a state of being confident of this, that the one who began a good work in you will complete it until the day of Christ Jesus. Stated in one of the very earliest videos that we don't know for sure exactly what Paul means here. He could be talking about eternal security or sanctification, or the fact that they started supporting Paul, so they'll complete it. There are other aspects too. Somebody made a comment to the fact that there could be other potential aspects to what this phrase means. Just a few notes grammatically. One is that the term means to finish, to complete. According to one Greek grammarian, Heinrich von Siebenthal, Greek grammar that I really like to use based on the Hellenistic period, he says, and I quote, that in Philippians 1:6, the building activity appears to be meant as something continuing. So he's saying that the one who began a good work in you will keep doing that work, keep forming you, keep moving you toward completion and maturity until the end, until the day of Jesus Christ. So what does that mean? It means that God's doing this. Paul says that I was watching the kind of relational experiences that you've had in the gospel from the very first day until now, until the present. And then he says that I'm confident that the one who started all of that, he's going to keep working on you and maturing you until the very end, the day of Christ. Notice there's a little bit of a parallel between what Paul says in verse 5 and verse 6. He says in verse 5 that he has observed this in them from the first day until the present, until now. And then in verse 6, the one who started it, that would have been the first day, will keep doing it until the day of Christ. That would be the last day. It's not a direct, specific lexical parallel, but there's a parallel nature to what he says. To me, that suggests that what Paul's saying is that just the same way I've watched God work in your lives and develop this koinonia, develop this relational intimacy or some aspect to the relationship that you have with God or Paul or each other. I've watched him develop this in you from the very first day. He's been doing that even until now. And if he's done that in the past, he is going to keep doing it. I've been persuaded by this, Paul says. This has convinced me that he's going to keep doing it until the very end. Paul's persuasion, confidence in God's work in the Philippians' life in the future is based on the work that God has done in their lives in the past and the present.